Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd, and as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
As he helps a young artist with her upcoming exhibition, the owner of a mannequin shop's deadly suppressed desires come to the surface. It is Groundhog Day, and we are starting this month doing
Maniac.
redoing the reboots. So
Yep.
we've done Maniac before, the original, and now we're doing the updated version. So all month long, we're going to be doing these updated versions of the movies we've already done.
Yep.
So sit
This
back
one,
and
Maniac
relax.
2012, stars Frodo
Frodo.
Baggins.
He does.
You will know
And
him from The Shire.
I do.
You know him from a bunch of stuff.
And
He's from the Shire.
He's from The Shire. He has hobbit feet.
Yes, he
He
does.
does have hobbit feet, which he shows in this movie.
The whole movie, I'm like, no, Frodo, no.
Put your hobbit feet.
Okay, so first impressions on this. What did everybody think?
my first impressions were meh. Like, I
Meh?
didn't really care much to see it and when we sat down, there are some things that I kind of liked about how they went about this one.
Yeah.
As opposed to the first one. But overall, I would say it's a decent remake.
It was creepy as fuck. And I remember reading some of the things about it. They said that people couldn't buy Elijah Wood playing a serial killer.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it helped tenfold. Because it's nothing you expect from him. And I think because of that, that added to the creepiness of it.
Okay, I agree that sometimes for actors to kind of step outside their comfort zone or whatever you want to call it and do something different, like just doing something different like that, like I think he does, it works sometimes. It definitely worked with Heath Ledger. No one thought he would be a great Joker, and I was like, I was one of the few people I'm like, I think he's going to do really good.
But
Yeah.
Heath Ledger was a great actor.
But okay, and
To
you know,
begin with,
and
yeah.
Elijah
Yeah.
Wood is a good actor. You know, he's not the greatest. He's not Heath Ledger level or whatever, but he's a good actor. You know, he's not terrible or anything. But
I believed him as a hobbit.
but I think the thing, you know, he does a really good job in this movie. But I think the thing that really just takes me out of it, being Elijah Wood, I don't know if it's his delivery or the dialogue. That just, I was like, it didn't buy it for me. Like, it kind of took away from the creepiness of it.
You want to know my problem
What?
with Elijah Wood? I'm taller than Elijah Wood, so I wouldn't be intimidated by him. I just push him over. Like, get out of here, Frodo.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with it. If you're,
I'm thinking about it when I'm watching the movie. I'm like, okay, he would probably he would come up to my chin because he's short, and I would be like,
Okay,
no,
but-
no,
yeah,
Frodo.
but that-
Makes him all the more dangerous.
yeah, that makes him all more unassuming that he's
Yes.
going to be a bad guy or a weird guy
Yes.
or whatever. But I do have to say, I like how it starts off. It's very raw and gritty.
It's
and-
very
and
fast-paced.
It's
Yes.
it's raw and gritty yet refined in a good homage to the original. And
Yeah.
And what I really appreciated was the opening sequence. I've always said it's best to just let the audience learn who these characters are
Yeah.
by their actions and the image you put on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So everything that you see and what they're doing tells you who they are without having to have that, you know, cheesy exposition of like, well, hi, I'm the mannequin
Yeah.
owner of the
Yeah.
shop and blah, blah, blah. You learn with the characters in the movie. And I think that's always the best way.
You want to know what I learned about his first kill? She is nasty. She
Yes.
took off her shoes in a cab and then walked on New York Street or LA Street into her apartment. I was like, ew, no.
The thing that I thought was going to be annoying about this movie was the first person perspective. But
I
after-
was going to say, too. Like,
Here we
'cause
go.
I
Here
wrote
we
down,
go with you. I
yeah,
know you're not
don't
a fan
like
of
it.
you're
I
not,
do not like POV
You've
shots.
never been a fan of the POV shot.
I
okay,
don't.
I want to say that when POV is done correctly, it is very useful.
And I'll
and
say,
I think for the most part in this movie, they do it correctly. There's a few times where I'm like, it doesn't really work in here, or you're using a little too much. But I think the way that they meant for it to be
Yeah.
used, I think it really works in this movie.
See, it grew on me because initially I'm like, is the entire movie going to be like this? And Kim told me, yeah, it's going to be like this. And then it just kind of
Yeah.
grew on me, and then I got used to it.
I didn't mind it, and I think that it did help with the story at times, being from the POV. But there were some times where I'm like, stop hiding, like around the corner. Just I want to be able to see shit. That's what bugs me, is when I can't see what's going on in the movie because we're so stuck on this POV shit. Like that pisses me off and I get annoyed with it. I'm like, I want to see all the details. You went through all this work to put stuff on the screen and now you're not giving me the details. I have to see sides of things.
I can see that.
But camera movement is another character that you don't think about.
Well, I don't like that bitch as a character.
And when it's done well, you appreciate it. You don't like it no matter what, but I think it has to be done really, really well for you to be okay with it because you're just not a fan of it, and that's okay.
But I didn't mind it some of the times, like when he's looking at Anna taking his picture. I thought that was a well done piece, and then again when he's looking at that same picture that she took of him later, I thought those kind of moments were cool. But it's really, I hate POV when the action gets going. It bugs the shit out of me because you're always missing some sort of the action, and I feel like POV and action shots is a way to make it seem like there's more going on than there is. So I feel like it's a shortcut.
See, I think some of the scenes would have been better if it wasn't straight POV.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times POV is very effective, but if you do use it too much, it loses the efficiency of it or whatever. But I think at certain times, maybe when he was doing the killings, like it could have been over the shoulder, so you're kind of
just panned back a
you're
little.
Watching him do it, and
see, and I think
just little subtle things like that. I think
my
would have been
point.
helped.
I am very. I don't take direction well, so I think I just get annoyed. Whereas the director's like, "No, you have to look here," and I'm like, "I don't want to fucking look there. I want to look up here. Don't try to make me look where you want me to look."
Going on in the background.
That's part of the story. The story is in front of the camera, so it's going to point to what it wants you to see.
Well, I disagree with where the story was.
Well, make your own damn movie.
But when he first takes that first kill out, like, it's so fast. She turns around, he goes, "Don't scream," and she starts to, and then just straight through the mouth, right up to the brain.
It reminded me a lot of the first one. That's the one thing I kind of started getting the vibe for. Is like, are they going to try to remake all the killings from the first movie? But then some of them remind me, like especially that one, because it reminded me of his first one. Like the first kill when
when we watched the movie, I literally said, like, what's the over-under on somebody offering him the ultimate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I missed.
I had an issue with where we saw Frodo take the scalps.
Oh.
Because it was like one cut and then they just peeled off. I'm like, no, that's not happening.
Was it the first one? I think it was just like.
And you know what it actually reminded me of? You know, in The Problem Child 2, where they go to that pizza place and there's like goo with all the pizza that they're throwing around. I was like, that's what it looks like.
I wrote down he peeled her muffin cap back.
He did, yes.
That he did.
He just peeled that bitch right off.
I found it funny when he was on the dating site later on
that ancient fucking computer. I'm like, when did he buy this computer? 1995? What is this?
It reminded me of what's that game that he's playing in Big? That computer game where it's like, shoot the wizard. Like,
the wizard choose your own ending or whatever. Yeah.
But yeah, I found him like that chick responded super fucking quickly. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, he just put like his whatever version of this, like he swiped it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we're a match, and then she was like, "Hey, are you so and so?"
Hey, you want to go on a date? Let's go on a date. Like
this bitch was just on the site waiting for somebody.
Hey, she needed to get some dick. Okay, we've all been there.
And inviting a dude to your house and playing Goodbye Horses is the way to go about it.
I did write that. Do not play Goodbye Horses when you have anybody in your house.
Did you catch what she said to him when she first met him?
Song.
She says a lot of weird things to him.
Well, the one thing that she said, and I only know this because when I read the trivia, when she first meets him, she says, "I'm glad you're not some long-haired, greasy-faced, acne-ridden person." And when you think about that,
like the original Maniac,
that's exactly what she described the original Maniac.
Well, I do love. Okay, so back to the POV thing.
That's kind of twofold then, because I mean, I don't know. I wasn't on a dating site looking for dudes, so I don't know what kind of dudes you get. Maybe you do get the pimply faced, long hair guys.
Probably, I don't know. I got married before dating sites existed, so I missed that whole bubble. But I will say that the POV shots that really worked for me are in the restaurant when he starts having like a panic attack.
Yeah.
Like you can physically see his anxiety as all the people turn to look at him. And I thought that was well executed, but at the same time, like the POV shot, I'm like, just move it faster through this. Like, we don't need to focus in on all these people.
The chick that he meets in the dating site, I wrote down, this chick is just straight horny. Frank's got addict hands. Like, he's got those little like scratches and like little things.
Yeah.
Like, he has addict hands, and he is either addicted to violence or meth, and violence. So either way, like she's over here like touch my A cups, harder. I'm like Frank's with his attic hands.
When he's rubbing her boobs and like pinching her nipple, I'm like, what if milk just shot right out of that right now? Like that's all I could think of. That's all I could think of. Because like he was like milking
there wasn't
her. I was
anything
like,
gonna
what
come
are
out
you
of those little
doing?
boobies.
There was nothing to come out of those A cups.
Hey, all you need is a handful. Right,
Okay,
guys?
no, there's nothing against A cups or small boobs. It's fine. But I'm saying if you have A cups and you had milk in there, they're not A cups anymore.
That's true. But yeah, that's all I could think of. I'm like, Frodo's going to get shot with some milk right in the eye.
I know. I'm like, what if that happened and he was just into it and then he stopped killing people? So
like, yeah, like you were just
floats his
mortified. Like,
boats.
I can't go next to a woman ever again.
No. Like, what if he was into that? Like, he likes to be squirt and he's like, oh shit, like.
Hey,
I don't need to kill
he
people
did have
now.
mommy issues.
There you go. It could have opened up or, soothed his violent rage or whatever he was dealing with.
Speaking of mommy issues, this one kind of dives deeper into the mommy issues. Yeah. And I liked the flashbacks with the children or the child seeing little, like, supposed to be Elijah Wood. And I know, like, it was like the child came in later after they shot the sex scenes, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just forced perspective. And at the same time, I was like, I mean, we all like to take it from behind sometimes, ladies, but not in front of your kid. Like, yelling at him to wait for you in the car. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh yeah, well, not even mentioning the bedroom scene.
Yeah,
She's
the
with
bedroom scene, the two
right?
dudes, and she's just like, hello.
Yeah, I wrote down horror PSA. Don't have sex in front of kids. No one has ever been okay afterwards.
No.
Manson, think about it. This was very Manson-like. His mom was a hooker and stuff, and he saw it a lot. So I'm like, yeah, there's nothing ever good that comes with kids watching adults have sex.
No, kids go to bed early. Just wait. Just wait until they're asleep.
They all fall asleep.
Even on what was the Thanksgiving when we did Blood Rage? Yeah. That mom tried to get busy with the kids asleep in the back seats. Make sure they're in a whole other room. Horror PSA.
Never
fuck
works
away
right.
from your kids.
Yes,
fuck away from your
you'll
kids.
turn those little dudes into serial killers.
Yes, and we don't need any more. We're not even doing that well right now, and I don't even think we have any serial killers out there right now. So just don't. Horror PSA. Fuck elsewhere. Fuck away from the kids. Yes.
Go to the garage.
There you go.
But more what you were saying about that girl that he met on that online site, you can tell she was just cruising for it because they get into the bedroom and what does she have? She has a freaking mirror on her ceiling.
Oh yeah. She was
This wasn't her first rodeo.
She was hot to trot.
Well, like you said, she was waiting for dudes.
She was in her spare time. Like, I'm just going to be on the site in case someone.
Sex is fun. I mean,
if I get a match,
what are you gonna do?
If I get a match and I do not chat him within 3 seconds, he's gone.
It's true.
Is it true? I don't know.
I don't know. Never been on a date.
Well, it was for her anyway.
I guess. But yeah, and then he strangles her.
Yeah,
as he's looking at the mirror, right?
Yeah,
because you just focus on him, and then he takes her scalp later. Like,
crying.
I know. How can anyone listen to Goodbye Horses and not
Fucking
automatically
Silence of the Lambs.
think of a tuck,
yes.
man? Like,
Yeah.
you think of the tuck when you think of that song.
Would you fuck me?
No,
I'd no.
no, Buffalo Bill. I would not.
Jamie, Silence of the Lambs. I would like to go to a time period where Silence of the Lambs hadn't come out yet, and that song was still like what it was.
Okay,
before
I
what
would
it was.
I would like to think that even regardless of Silence of the Lambs, that song would still strike me as creepy. But it probably does have a lot to do with the movie.
It does.
I think it does. That's one thing. Is like,
and it's not even just that movie. It's been throughout pop culture because lots of people have recreated that Goodbye Horses scene. So as soon as you hear that song, you're like, great, somebody's going to tuck their dick back. That's what's going to happen. I mean, I've seen Muse do it.
Yeah, I was going to say Jay didn't help. His version
Jay
of
did
it.
it.
I mean, Jay did it like full on.
Ooh.
His OCD, I liked the portrayal of his kind of OCD craziness in this one, where there's a scene where he's scrubbing his hands, and that one was rough because I was like, stop
using the
washing
Brillo.
them. Yes, I'm like, stop it.
I could just
stop it.
I could feel the scratches when he was doing that Brillo. Like, no,
Ugh.
He's got to wash off the dirty, dirty girl off
what
of
he
him.
did to himself, or what they made him do.
His apartment or shop or whatever you want to call it. I wrote down he has a kitchen bathroom. He can literally take a shit and fry eggs at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
I mean, it's set in L.A. in this one, right?
Yeah. It was
I wasn't sure at first as we were watching it until later. I'm like, this is L.A. This is definitely not New York, because I was assuming New York to begin with.
I clocked a few palm trees, and then I was like, okay, this is. But yeah, I assumed in New York too, because when they first open up, it's kind of on like a New York style street. Like they come out of a club, and it looks more.
It looks more LA.
New York.
It looks more New York than LA.
Yeah. I think for me anyway, I probably assumed just because it's the remake that we're going to do New York again. But
yeah,
I mean, it kind of works. I mean, you definitely want to do things differently.
And then I was like, okay, there's a cab and a subway, and I don't think I've ever seen a cab in LA. I mean, I'm sure they exist, but
I've never probably looked for one. So.
Yeah, but I was like, is this New York? But yeah, but the OCD and the hand scrubbing scene, like he's just like scrubbing.
Yeah.
And I think the POV shots for that really worked, because you get that intense kind of manic scrubbing episode.
It was like, you made me do it again.
Yeah. And I think his talking helped, because I think it told more of the story. As they were like the first Maniac, you weren't quite sure that it was his mom until like way into the movie. He was just killing bitches.
Yeah.
But this one, I feel like we got more of the story of Frank than we did in the first time
this
around.
Definitely gave you some more in depth of his dimension or his craziness or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Like he just stalks bitches. Like he just walks behind them.
Well, they had that one montage of him just trying to find his next victim.
Oh yeah, just like driving around. Yeah.
Like, okay, who's it going to be? Then you think it's this one, and then all of a sudden it's this one, and then all of a sudden it's this one, and then they go to, what is it? I don't even know how the fuck he got in there, but when he was spying on that Cirque du Soleil girl.
Yeah, the circus girl.
Didn't he just walk in while someone was walking out?
He did. I was like, why is he stalking some acrobatic chick? But he watched her do it beforehand.
Yeah, he was just sitting there. Like, I think it was after a whole afternoon, evening that he was just trolling around, and then all of a sudden he just stopped in that corner. He's like, oh look, there's a girl up in there.
And much like the nipple milk issue, when I saw that girl doing her little acrobatic stuff and twirling around, I'm like, what if she just starts puking as she's spinning around and around and around?
Or the thing that I was waiting for is the inevitable fail where she just falls.
Yeah.
What are Frank's turnoffs when he's selecting a girl? Like, is it just like he's got his eye on one and I gotta have it no matter what? Or what would have happened, like you said, like if she puked or something, or like what if he was like getting ready, like I always thought this, like what if you're a serial killer and you're getting ready to kill someone? Like what if they did something that disgusted you? Like if I'm a serial killer and I went to go kill you,
that's happened,
and then you farted, and I was like, oh my god,
get out of my car, get out of my car right now.
And then you just like what if like BTK could have been stopped by a fart? Like who knows? What things
killer
would just trigger them to just like, forget it, I'm done.
You know what would be why a serial killer wouldn't take me? Because I would talk so much shit. I would just like, tie me up, fucker, you little pussy. I would talk so much shit, and they would be mad that I wasn't scared.
It's like, oh, that's what you did.
But
what
like,
you tied my hands up.
What if they like that? What if
then I would? I've studied serial killers, so I could switch back and forth pretty easily.
No, please.
Like he was like, really? He's like, that's the best you can do. Is like, my kids can do better than this.
And hey, there are survivors of serial killers. But like, there's just something that I did wrong that night, and he let me go. Like
that's the shit I want to know. Like, what did you do? Like, what was it?
What did you do? Tell me the secrets.
What was like? No, it was really embarrassing. Like, no, just I need to know. Like, I shit my pants. Oh,
that'd be one way to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, if the options were this dude's about to murder me and take my hair, or I shit myself, then I mean,
well, no, I'm not even saying that. I'm like I would always been like, if I was somewhere like if I was gonna get raped by somebody, right? I'm like, I'm gonna shit my pants.
Paul has lots of like exit strategies for situations he's never been in.
Hey, why
always be prepared?
You don't want to get caught off guard with to be like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, nope.
I wonder the amount of time you spend just thinking of this shit.
You gotta be prepared. Some aliens try to abduct you, and they're gonna anally probe you. Like, poop your pants.
Like, all right, you're gonna work for it. I just ate Hormel chili. You're going down.
But what if that helps? Because now they have more access into your...
Yeah, well, they can take the shit, but just I don't want anything up my
butt.
They're
going to have to clean it. That's the thing. Is like, you really want in there, you're going to have to get past some shit.
And what if they didn't know what it was and the aliens start eating it? And like, then I'm puking everywhere. And then see, this is an avalanche of this guy. You just have to make yourself.
I don't understand you.
You just have to make yourself.
You've broken Saul.
He's always broken. All I'm saying is, You just have to make yourself not worth it. Whatever that takes, just make yourself not worth all the effort.
Yes.
That's all it comes down to in the end. So, horror PSA, you're about to get murdered, you're about to get whatever. Make it not worth it.
Make it not
make
worth
them work for it and make you not worth it.
Well, the acrobatic chick tried. She ran.
She did.
I thought we were going to get another subway bathroom floor death.
It was kind of like that because he was chasing her through that one thing.
Well, and he had that giant knife. I was like, so are we going to have like a sword again? Because remember, he killed the bitch with a sword in the bathroom.
I love that he recreated the poster from the original movie in that reflection of with
the scalp and the knife and everything.
And I'm like,
he's got the jeans and the shoes and all that shit. Yeah, I thought that was cool. There was a lot of homages without being a direct ripoff.
Yeah.
And I did like that. I like when directors and people
it needs to pay respect, but it also needs to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Because of movies, they did the whole thing that it just makes me cringe to this day is getting your Achilles slit.
Oh, the heel. Yeah, the knife to the heel.
Yeah, the knife to the heel. Oh,
and hey, I was like, okay, she's running. Where's she going? Get out of climb the fence, bitch.
Yes. Yeah.
Climb the fence.
Fight or flight. You got to do whatever you can.
Little Frodo ain't gonna scale that fence that fast. He's short, man.
Yeah. And after he cut you should have shit your pants. Threw it at him, something.
But still,
no. What really she should have done is shit her pants and then shoved it in her hair.
There you go.
Because that's what he wanted.
But if you don't know what they're after,
that's true.
You're like, okay. So,
and we don't know what the news has said because I don't think there were any newspaper things out there. Like he took the scalp or something.
I doubt that they would say that.
They
just
only showed
part of the case.
Like a TV commercial, not a TV commercial. They showed a news report of it.
They showed a couple.
He
things
was watching
like
it a couple times. I think. Yeah. But what if you don't know what he's after, so you just spread shit in your hair? That's like, okay, so this man wanted to rob your purse and you put shit in your hair, ma'am? Like,
well, if we follow Paul's logic, all you got to do is shit and rub it on everything. Just rub it everywhere, all over.
I'm saying don't automatically just go to shit. Like, assess the situation first, okay?
Okay.
Don't just immediately
decide if you need to shit or run.
I'm not saying you're in a crowded place and somebody taps you on the shoulder. Just don't shit your pants right away, all right? It might be like, excuse me, did you drop this?
At this point, by the time we're in crowded places again, we're all feral. We're all going to be feral. We're not going to know how to be part of society.
Well, then I'm not going out in public if everyone's going to be shitting their pants.
We need at least 6 months of re-education into society.
Of how to be able to behave in public again.
Yes. We need deodorant, guys. Remember deodorant? Yeah.
Yeah. Etiquette lessons.
Etiquette. Yes. That's what we're all going to need. We're all going to be frank, minus the killing tendencies after.
So here's my first lesson for everyone in etiquette. When we go back into public, the right side of the road you go forward.
Yes.
So I don't care where you are, fucking, anywhere there's a lot of people. Disneyland, get on the fucking right side. The right side, you can go straight.
And you're not special. Just remember that. If you're out in society, you are not special.
Yeah. If you're going
get in the crowd and go with it.
Yes.
This is America. We drive on the right side of the road, and that should apply to every big walkway with people. And also, get the fuck out of the way.
You don't have to tell people you're American, Paul. They know it from your big bravado. Okay.
Well, I said this is America. All right. We have listeners in other
we
countries,
do,
right?
and we love you all.
So in UK, fine. You drive on the left side of the road. Yeah, everyone in the UK, get on the left side of the fucking walkway.
And why do you drive on the left side? It's really just you.
Yeah.
In places you've colonized.
Okay, but this is not fair coming for us. We're like, well, how come you guys metric system? Huh?
This is true. This is
just
true.
You.
Yeah, we're the only ones.
We're like the youngest little baby country.
I'm okay with them driving the left side if they don't fuck with metric system with us. Like, I do.
We
things
can't
in
relearn
feet.
it, guys. Okay.
I do things in feet, inches, and yards. I don't know meters. I don't care.
And
it's
pounds. Don't forget pounds.
Pounds and ounces.
Oh, but Anna in this one.
Yes.
I didn't like her as much as the original one.
Yeah, she seemed like a little lacking and just.
She wasn't as strong as a character.
No,
yeah,
not at all. She was
all.
very insecure. I think just a few different steps by Frank, and they could have ended up just being together.
Yeah.
Because she was so unsure about herself and her relationship.
And she had that shitty boyfriend.
Yeah, and her boyfriend was just a dick to begin with. So it's like, just if he would have played his cards right, like they would have just been together. And he would have been fine. Like maybe he would have just stopped and been like, I'm in love. We can just live together.
No.
And again, she
women
set herself
don't
up
fix
for that,
mental health issues.
And again, she saw
I don't know. He had a woman issue though.
No.
That's
women
the one
don't
thing
fix
that frustrated me. It's like, okay, you just met this dude. you're giving him all the signs that, oh, you're single, and all of a sudden you drop the bombshell on him that you had a boyfriend.
Well, he didn't ask. And hey, you can want to be friends with somebody just to be friends with them. You don't have to be friends just because you want to date somebody.
Frank was more infatuated with her to the point of where he wanted to be with her rather
Frank
than
was
kill her.
like that with everyone, though. He talked to everyone like that, I feel.
But when he invited her to the movies, like, you know, and I get, like you're saying, you know, friends can go to the movies and all that, but if he doesn't know at that point, which there was no indication, obviously, because
there was none.
As the audience, we didn't know either. But at that point, I feel like she should be like, okay, like we're just going as friends because I do have a boyfriend. Like, there should have been something there. Like, she should have said something at that point. Like,
it wasn't until after they got out of it.
If you agree to go to the movies with somebody that's just like a new friend and you don't tell them I'm seeing somebody, or if you haven't brought it up, like that's kind of not fair. That's out of bounds, man.
Blindsiding them.
You are. Whether it's a
so
crazy...
every girls that you talked to before you guys were in relationships were open for business if you wanted?
Wait, what?
So anybody that you talked to that's a girl, right? And that you would hang out with, you only did that because there was chances of becoming a relationship?
I'm saying in this scenario that they're in, like he's clearly into her and they don't know each other that well, and then he invites her to the movies and he didn't know she had a boyfriend. I'm saying, okay.
So you're saying after the invite from the movie, she should have said something?
Yes, she should have made it clear.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. I said up at that point, like she should have made it clear. Because then it's like afterwards, like, oh, my boyfriend just texted me. Like he thinks they're on a fucking date.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and like
that's
I will give you that
because
in the movie theater, he stares at her a few times and she noticed.
Quite a
and
few
she
times.
smiles.
Yeah.
So yeah, she should have said something before the
he's
movies.
completely under the impression that like, oh, things are going well. We're on a date, like, you know, blah blah blah.
And then it wasn't until after they got out of it where she got that phone call from him. She's like,
like, do you want to come? I'm like, of course he's not gonna want to go with you, fucker. He didn't even know you had a fucking boyfriend. I'm like, that's not right.
And then like she's like, I need your mannequins because I'm a photographer.
Yeah,
I did like how from the original they kind of kept the photographer thing intact.
Yeah, and I do think that it makes it easier for Frank to have the mannequins being a mannequin like repair dude than it was just he bought them randomly and had them in his apartment.
It made a lot more sense, you know, for her to enter his life and everything, you know, for him to have those things and this and that, especially her being an artist and she's like, oh my god, these are like vintage.
Yeah, instead of what was the original, just she took his picture in the park.
He's like, yeah, I noticed you took my picture in the park. Like, what? And she was never like, how the fuck do you know where I live?
Yeah,
anything like that.
Oh.
And my question too is, how many people like rent or buy those vintage mannequins that he can have a business?
Yeah, and survive off of it.
Survive
in
off
LA.
Is he surviving off
I
of it,
don't
though?
know, man.
Because for all we know, he could have been robbing the people too. Like after he kills the chicks, he just whatever cashes on
takes their hair and their money.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to live somehow. I mean, obviously, we didn't see his business ever open for anything throughout the movie.
Yeah, I like when it's Anna's big night at her gallery and he puts on his best mustard turtleneck.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he gets all ready.
I'm like, he actually got dressed up and shit. Like, it's okay. Seriously, if you would have just told her like your boyfriend's a real dick and you know he threatened me and he tried to rape me, like you know, just make shit up. Go ahead.
Well, she breaks up with him later, doesn't she?
I don't think she really ever does.
I don't think she gets the chance because then you know all the shit goes down in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, presumably she probably would have, or not, because she doesn't know anything that he said to Frodo, and you know, she knows he's a dick, and she has that. I think she has a moment where she kind of questions, like, I don't even know why I'm still with him, or blah blah blah.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, she does have that moment. But I do have to say though, Rita, her friend, did have that coming.
Oh, she for sure did.
Bitch to
yes,
him.
and it made more sense in this one than it did the last one, because the last one that character he just followed her home.
He just picked her up.
But this one, Rita was a bitch.
Yeah.
She was a bitch.
Started like ripping on the thing that he does, like what he does. It's like, oh,
yeah, like why you just
and
out here being cunty to people, man? Knock it off.
And I don't know. It's funny to me that nobody noticed that he was just standing outside waiting for her to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He was just chilling
in his mustard turtleneck.
Yeah, and like who wouldn't notice? Like she would have totally noticed. Like why is
there a hobbit out there?
Frank, what are you doing? Why are you following my agent?
But we get that same bathtub scene we had in the first one. And then he's fully crazy by the time he gets to Rita. Like he's yelling at her about not going out tonight. Like I fully think he sees his mom in Rita.
It was definitely the mother representation for him. And I found it the scene where she's in the bath and she's got the cover over her face.
Yeah,
and
the towel.
He moves the wine glass and all that.
Yeah.
He's kind of doing those things. And I wrote down like he touches those bubbles like really creepily too. Like, he's kind of playing with them, and I'm like, it is like building that whole like just the creepiness factor of it to where when she opens her eyes and all that, he's like, "Don't scream, please."
Mm-hmm. So he had He had to have resuscitated her, right? Because he puts her in the tub.
I don't know. Like I took that as maybe she just passed out or whatever, and then he brought her out, and she hadn't breathed in any like liquid or anything yet. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like it's those things. I know if you choke someone, like there's a difference. Like you can have them pass out and not die versus like if you choke them long enough, they will die. So I think she just kind of passed out, and he just pulled her up right away, so where she actually could breathe still.
And
then he tied her up.
Yeah, he tied her up like bondage style. And another bone I had to pick was she lives in LA in an apartment. Yes. Who's not hearing this bitch scream?
Exactly.
And
because again, when they go to Anna's apartment and she starts getting attacked, her neighbor hears.
Yeah, her neighbor comes like, Anna, are you okay? And comes over.
Oh, and then what happened to him? Oh,
oh, the mouth. Yeah. Yes. Oh,
I was like, holy shit.
What was the neighbor's name? I don't think
Martin.
Martin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When Anna was like, Martin, you okay? And I'm like, if you don't hear the voice, then no, he's not. No, he's
not. Like, and I was like, don't you have like a fire escape or something?
Yeah.
Go out the window.
Well, she was in the bathroom, right?
She was.
His was brutal because he just comes in, he gets that axe to
right
the
in
face.
the mouth.
I'm like, holy
yes.
There were a lot
of. How did that fucker survive that?
There were a lot of great kills in
there
this
was,
movie.
yes.
Actually, there was the gore factor was definitely high on this one. And I was like, it surprised me. So I do have to say that I really enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would because. First, Elijah Wood turned me off on it because I'm like, I don't know if I can see him as that. So, but he did a great job, except for like I said, I don't know if it was the dialogue or just his voice delivering the lines. Like it just sounded like almost like he was intimidating to me. It was almost like he was begging to me. He was like, "Please don't do this, or I will hurt you," kind of thing.
Oh, please don't scream.
So I don't like it. Just that's what got to me. But
excuse me, ma'am, will you please keep it down?
But I do have, and I think another major factor that made me think that I wouldn't like this movie is because Kim likes it and she doesn't like it for the most part. Like she was 2001 Maniacs. I'm like, really?
Poor Kim. She's not here with us today. She had to be at work. We miss you, Kim.
Yes.
Thanks, Kim. But it was a good movie, so maybe I'll trust your opinion a little bit more, Kim.
I still give her shit for movies that she likes. I'm like, those movies are terrible.
Yeah, the cleaver to the mouth is one of the issues that I had with the POV because, like, when I see a good gore kill, I want to see it. And then he's moving all over. He's falling on the ground, and I'm just trying to, like, track it and move with it and be like, where is it? I want to see the mouth.
The thing that also kind of, because he got the cleaver to the mouth, and then he fucking takes it out.
Yeah. And he gets back up. Like, Martin comes back up after him a second time, too. Yeah. I'm like, go, Martin, go.
See? They make it more trouble than it's worth.
Mm-hmm. And then the big difference from this one to the last one is that Anna dies.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't die in the last one. She gets away, and the cops come for Frank the next morning. But in this one, he gets Anna.
Well, they left the original kind of open-ended because you don't really know if he died or not. Because it was kind of odd. He had that weird... hallucination to where all the mannequins came to life and killed him.
Yeah, which we get in this one as well.
Yeah, and
but he had an actual wound though.
Yeah,
in this one. So it's like basically he died of the stomach wound, and he just had a freak out hallucination thing
as he was dying. Yeah,
like the same thing that the original movie. But I think that's the main thing that I love about this movie is like the little things that didn't make sense about the original or how they would happen or why they would happen the way they did. Mm-hmm. They still had them, like the whole freak out scene with the mannequins, but then it's like, well, he did have an actual wound, so he died of the wound, so he actually is dead. Like it does, it answers that question instead of leaving it open like the original one did. We're like, well, I think he's dead, and obviously maybe those cops should have checked better, but I mean,
there's a couple other things that cracked me up though, because when Anna got out of the van, she stabbed him with the hand.
Yeah,
and she's just running away, which obviously you should do. Finds the car and then runs him over. I'm like, holy shit.
And then runs into something and dies.
the hand stabbing, I think I wrote down, Frodo got fingered.
Yes, he did.
And Anna falls, she flies out, but doesn't he strangle her or does he scalp her? There?
No, he
does scalp her.
Does he?
I know that.
While she's dying,
he does. Yeah,
because there's a part where she's still alive.
Yeah, I don't know if that was. I don't know if she was still alive or not, or what was going on. But he does scalp her in the end.
He does. He takes the scalp and
he puts out on his prized mannequin.
Yeah, the bride one. Yeah, in the wedding dress. See, Anna just should have broken up with her boyfriend. She would have still been alive.
So Angie. Women can't fix mental health problems.
They can't. Okay? They can't.
But he could have been happy.
But Frank wanted love.
But what? Okay, if Frank got love, would he still kill?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Would you still
Crazy's
have
still gonna be crazy.
Okay,
Crazy gonna be crazy.
But
no matter
you're
what.
okay, but you're thinking of like
Real life?
and
Yes.
not in the movie.
In real life
this
situations,
film-
crazy is crazy,
Fine,
people.
I'm not talking about real life.
Crazy.
Okay, they're crazy. They're gonna be crazy. They're gonna do crazy.
That's
It's
not
gonna
on
happen.
you. That's on their crazy ass.
Just to walk away from crazy.
Yes.
And that's fine. But I'm saying
Or
Frank in
Push
this
them
movie,
at a therapist.
if Frank had a good woman, would he still be crazy?
Yes, he would.
It's not
No,
real
he'd
life.
still be crazy.
Yeah. You live with that many mannequins, your ass is crazy. Sorry.
But he owned a shop.
I don't
and
care.
He repaired them.
But he had a bathroom kitchen combo.
And his shit eggs.
Yes. So he wasn't doing that great. I do like the end when all of them come back to life and like they're like themselves
Yeah.
at the end. Like they all stab him and they say things to him.
Yeah, and I love that he had those little arguments too. He's like, "What do you get over there? She means nothing. Don't listen to her." Like he was saying
Yeah.
all those things when he brought Anna home finally, and
Mhm.
the other one, the Goodbye Horses chick, was saying something. He's
Yeah.
like, she meant nothing to me. Don't listen to her.
Yeah. Like full on crazy at that point. But then Anna comes, like she's the one. Does she stab him at the end too? Or does she just
she's-
stand there watching
He
them?
gets Oh no! I think she stands there and watches as the other ones take it, or maybe she gets in there one last lick or something.
Yeah.
You were talking about the mannequin version. of
Yeah,
it,
the
right?
mannequin version ones. Yeah,
I
where
think,
he's
I think
sitting
they
there
all
dying.
do attack. She stands and watches for a little while, and I think at the end, like she might jump in there as well.
I'm curious as to how the police found him out.
Well, yeah,
You know, well,
I would-
well, okay.
Martin,
first of all,
maybe?
no. First of all, Martin's dead either way.
Yeah, he's
right?
dead.
But first of all, watching this movie, I'm like, you were just leaving fingerprints everywhere, motherfucker.
Yeah, everywhere.
Because when he kills the Goodbye Horses chick, and I'm
Yeah.
like, you're just touching everything. So I'm like, is there a scene like, we don't see where you clean up, make yourself a sandwich, and get rid of all the evidence, and see what cash they have on hand, and then get the fuck out of there? And I would think that the agent or the manager lady, that building looked a little more upscale. Something
Yeah.
there was probably cameras somewhere.
Oh,
'Cause I
yeah.
know
Probably caught
he
him.
walked in while the guy, stepped away from the desk or whatever. And I do think that they show like his panel, like there were video cameras
Yeah,
set up, but he was
I'm
watching
pretty
whatever
sure.
in the elevator or leading to the elevator at least. So. It was the whole one of those things, and like this movie, like it was gonna catch up with him eventually. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like he was very careless, CSI wise, and just very nonchalant to be like, oh,
Or the other thing too
I'm
that I
just-
was thinking is maybe they filed the trail of blood for when he,
yeah.
because when they had the car accident.
Well, I don't know. In that neighborhood, who knows? If they're like, oh, there's blood there. Like, I ain't calling nobody. Get the fuck out of here. That's where that creepy mannequin dude lives. There's something wrong with him. You always have those neighbors who's like, I knew it for 5 years. I've been telling her, but there's something wrong with that dude now. Like, you didn't call nobody though?
No.
Like, nobody would listen.
It's the age of snitching. If you think something's wrong, someone call.
Yeah.
Isn't that like how many times?
You don't have to even say your name to snitch anymore.
I
You
know,
can just
like-
like I'm being
Yes.
anonymous.
It's just like how many times is like oh, there's another dude in Ohio that had somebody in their basement for 5 years. And I'm like, well, we always smelled weird shit. We always, but you didn't call nobody.
Well, we didn't want to bother
We
him.
didn't know. I mean, we didn't know. We thought, but
He seems like a normal white dude. We just left him alone
yeah, it's just,
because it's always the white
just
dudes.
heard strange noises and strange smells. Like there was one where like the guy's been burying bodies for like 10 years under his basement or some shit.
There was one that had like 3 chicks in his house for years and years and years. People, y'all fucking crazy is all I'm
Yes.
saying.
Then again, that's another reason not to call and be like, what makes you think you won't do that to you?
living next door to the serial killer is probably the safest place.
Oh yeah,
So
probably
there's that.
Could be.
because they don't want to draw attention to their immediate
No,
surroundings.
Why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Horror PSA: play your music loud, and if your neighbors call the cops, they're not serial killers.
Do people still talk to their neighbors? Because like
I
when
don't know.
ours come out, I'm like, no.
But you should know at least like if you do that's the test. I'm saying you just play your music loud, have a party on a Wednesday night. If
Just-
all your neighbors call, then they're not serial killers. They're not hiding
That's
anything.
true. That is true.
Or PSA. Just call. Just play your music loud tonight. It's a fucking Tuesday. It's Groundhog Day. Play
Groundhog
that.
Day.
What's it? The
They
Sonny and
say
Cher
our
song.
love don't pay the rent.
There you go.
Just keep playing that over and over
It's
again.
cold outside. It's cold every day.
I think we're good.
I think we are good too. Well, we did miss the motorist that Anna kind of killed.
Well,
This
she
is
did.
true.
She
Yeah.
did kill
kinda
the
her fault.
motorist. She grabbed
She grabbed the
just
steering wheel.
let him drive away. Say, "Go, motorist, take me to the cops."
Yeah, and I'm like, just go. I'm like, what?
After
the
they
fuck are you
ran
doing?
him over, that they could have just said, "Fuck it, let's just go."
Yeah.
Well, they ran him over and then they ran into something. That's what happened. It wasn't that they ran him over and then
because she grabbed the wheel.
Yeah,
though.
she
That's why
grabbed
they
the wheel. They
They
ran into him and then ran into the thing, so they couldn't leave after the fact. Well, I think that wraps it up for this week, guys. We're sorry, this is a short one. We didn't realize that redoing movies, we already knew the storylines too, were going to be this short. But that's okay. I think we still had a great discussion on this one. So next week, we are coming back with The Crazies from the 2000s with Timothy Olyphant.
Yes.
Instead of the original.
We've already done the original.
We have already done the original.
Here we are. It's Groundhog.
Groundhog's Day. So if you
Again.
guys want to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
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 Instagram is
Instagram.
where
For grandmas?
For grandmas, yeah. Instagram. Okay, who do I call about Instagram?
Instagram.
It's just for grandmas to post pictures.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to see all the pictures grandmas post, but
Not
other
just random
grandmas.
shit.
Just
So
do you guys' grandmas post
Instagram.
like random shit? Like, this is my flower from my flower bed. Like, thanks, Grandma.
Look at this interesting leaf that I
We
found.
got 1 inch of snow. Look at this.
Here's my backyard.
Aw,
Here's
grandmas are holding the world together right now.
Here's my dog playing in the snow.
Yes,
See,
exactly.
we need Instagram.
Instagram.
But that's it for this week. You guys can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, you can email us at podcast@scarynerd.com. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/scarynerd. And we will see you next week with The Crazies. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Instagram now sounds like a dirty website for dating.
It does.
Never mind. Forget Instagram.
We're not teaching grandmas how to swipe right.
Vamos.
Forget Instagram. Good night.
Bye-bye.